Today's video is how to manifest on a timeline, all based around the Neville Goddard concept and law of assumption. This is a subscriber ask, and this person actually was the person that introduced me to the book, Your Faith is Your Fortune. So that's what this video is about today, manifesting on a timeline based on Neville Goddard's concept. Before I go into the video, for those of you that are new to this channel, my name is Natalie, and this is As the Pennies Drop. And this channel is dedicated and guided to guiding you to create a life you love, deserve, and desire. I am a conscious manifestation coach and a neurotransformation therapist, and I provide a variety of one-on-one solutions and group coaching solutions to guide you into transforming the view of yourself, to releasing these blocks, these limiting beliefs, these disempowering thoughts that you have about yourself, to get those manifestations to you, and to literally just transform the life to be able to create a life that you really do love. So if you would like to find out more, then just click on the link below. Okay, I'm going to share a quote. I love my quotes with Neville. Just going to read this one. This one's a little bit long, so bear with. Please. Okay. Man is such a slave to time that if after he has appropriated a state of consciousness, which is not now seen by the world, and the appropriated state, does not immediately embody itself, he loses faith in his unseen claim. Forthwith, he drops it and returns to his former static state of being. Because of this limitation of man, I have found it very helpful to employ a specified interval of time in making this journey into the prepared mansion. So what does he mean by that? Basically, fundamentally, when we are when we're feeling like anxious about something and we need to have it in a particular time, we have to have it in a particular time, and it doesn't show up in a particular time, we lose faith and we just stop. We stop manifesting the desire. We stop thinking about it. We tell ourselves it's impossible, and we just go back to the state before we have actually started to manifest the desire in the first place. And we just let it go. This doesn't work. It's not going to happen. They didn't turn up for my birthday. They didn't show up for Christmas. They didn't show up for New Year's. You know, I wanted them to be here by Friday. I wanted to get that message by Friday. I wanted to get that call by my bank to tell me I had 10 grand in the bank by Thursday. Didn't happen. This doesn't work. It's shit. And again, and I've just done another video on this as well. We are programmed to believe it when we see it, but we have to believe it for it to be seen. And not even necessarily actually believe it, but we just have to impress that story in our minds for it to show up, for it to be seen. So believing it could be, believing that the desired outcome is going to happen, or believe that when you do the affirmations, the more you do that, the more things are going to be working in the background that you don't see, the more you're going to speed up your manifestation for that to come to you. So I want to make that clear. So we are so conditioned to wanting things by a particular time. I remember when I was manifesting my ex back, and I wanted us to be back before Christmas, and I wanted to spend Christmas with him, and I wanted to go to this particular event with him. And I remember even looking in the mirror, and I had my dress on and everything, I was like, as if I was getting ready to go to the event. I was doing everything for it to happen, and nothing happened. And I was devastated. I didn't give up, but I was devastated, you see, because we're conditioned by time, but also as well, it has to feel natural. Everybody's time is different. So for some person, it might feel natural to get a text within 24 hours from somebody they haven't heard heard from for, or somebody that they want to be with. For somebody else, it might be that, to get a message for them within a month is more suitable. So Neville talks about it feeling more natural. So basing time on feeling it more natural, and that everybody has their own individual timeline. Mine clearly wasn't Christmas, unfortunately. And obviously my dominant thought was going to be more of lack as well. So even though I was doing the work, I still needed to do more. Just wasn't my time. Wasn't my time. So as I said, even though that didn't come to me, I still remained loyal to my convictions as much as I possibly could. And therefore the outcome was, a month after Christmas, my resolution. He was chasing me, we got back together. So what normally happens is, well, not normally happens, but what can happen, and again, it goes back to Neville's quote, is that we so easily kind of give up if that desire hasn't come to us by a specified time. Now, you can see this as that it wasn't your time. You could see this as a test from I like to see this, I know that we're the universe, but this helps me. I like to see it as a test from the universe of my convictions, of my desire. How much do I want it? It didn't come then, still going to be doing the work? Absolutely I am. It's, so I like to see it that's my assumption as well. And that really helps me, because I won't let circumstances stop me from getting what I want. Even if they take a long time, I won't let circumstances stop me from getting what I want. But we are all too easily ready to just give up. Well, I was on my own for my birthday. Oh, I didn't spend Christmas with them. Oh, whatever it is. It's not going to happen. And you just let go and move on. But if you just don't know, if you continued with that thought process, maybe you wanted to see them on Christmas Day. Maybe they would have sent you a message that evening saying that they wanted to see you the following day. In the UK, we call that Boxing Day. Maybe they would have messaged you a few days later and said, I was trying to message you on Christmas Eve, but where I live, the phone lines were down because there's so much snow. And I wanted to see if you were available to meet up on Christmas Day, but we got trapped with the snow and we couldn't message. If you stayed with your conviction, that could be the story that you get delivered to you. I really did want to see you on Christmas Day, but this happened. You just don't know how these things are going to unfold. So giving up, really, you really want to give up on something that you've desired because it hasn't come to you at the time that you've wanted it? No, of course not. So think about it this way. Ask yourself, what is it you're desiring? And what timeline would you like to have that desire by? Now, you've created a time that you would like to have that desire by. Ask yourself, do you feel anxious if you don't have it by that time? Or does it feel kind of easy breezy? Yeah, no, that would be actually quite cool. Nice and relaxed, natural. If it feels anxious, it's the wrong time. If it feels easy breezy, it's the right time. And again, this is all based on Neville's teachings, but I do know that when it comes to manifesting, the more resistance we have, obviously, that stops things from showing up. So we want to be in a state of a more natural state of it being with us rather than an anxious state of it not being here until then. And what you would do to help with that anxious state as well. So if you desperately, I say desperately, if you desperately need something by a particular date, so one, we don't want to be desperate about it, but you know that you need it by a particular date, we have to train our mind to stay as calm and as relaxed and at peace with the outcome for that desired date as much as possible by focusing on living in the end, by creating visual scenes, by consistently and persistently telling yourself that story over and over again, the affirmations, the affirmations, questioning yourself, visualizing yourself in that place after it has happened, telling yourself somebody, oh yeah, I did get that £10,000 check on the 25th of, May. It was great, and that covered that cost that I needed it to cover. So yeah, whatever it is, you can find a solution, find a scenario after the date or on the date even, you've got it already and you're celebrating on the day, or whatever it is you're wanting. So yeah, you can do that. So visualizing, so that will help you release that anxiety. So if you desperately need to have that by that particular date, then you have to remain natural. Anytime a doubt appears, you have to remain kind of between the gap, so the interval of time. So it's the interval of where you are and the date that you need that thing by, the desire by. In between that, you're going to have to remain as neutral and as natural and at peace and as calm and in that state of the wish fulfilled as much as possible. So you're going to really need to do that work to release any anxieties or doubts about it. So when we're doing the visuals, I want you to think about, what are you hearing people say about the desired outcome that you've already got on that particular date? What are you seeing? What are the smells? What are the voices? What's the touch? What is it? Bring all of the senses into it and bring that into your visual. So using all of the senses. And then once you've finished doing that visual, when you come out of that with joy, with happiness, with a state of knowing, and continue your day with that state of knowing as much as you can. And then get back into doing the visual, sat just before you go to sleep, when you wake up first thing in the morning. That is when our subconscious mind is most impressionable. Throughout the day, when you can, kind of in a daydreaming state, maybe you're feeling a bit sleepy at work, go and hide yourself away somewhere and, have a, close the eyes and get into that state again. So bringing the senses to the vision, the visual, and the scene of what you're creating, and just loop that scene over and over again. Don't have to make it too long or too complicated. Just loop that scene over and over again. And then when you come out of that state, you're in a state of just knowing and joy and happiness, because you know that it is yours. And you can literally go through that interval time of just repeating that and repeating that and repeating that and repeating that. And the more you do that, the more you will start to see things coming to you your way. If you're anxious about having the thing on the date that you need it, it's going to be more difficult for that to realize into your reality. I'm just going to finish off with a final story, again, relatable experience. So Ibiza, and I know a few of you have asked me to do a video on Ibiza, but I thought this was quite timely to do this, as this is about interval of time, and people wanted to know how I manifested Ibiza for 4 weeks, which is what I wanted, going to the luxurious beaches, which is what I wanted, having a 4x4 car, which is what I wanted, having beautiful views of sunsets, which is what I wanted, being able to do yoga on the beach, which is what I wanted, and obviously having enough money to be able to just have a great time out there, which is what I wanted. And all of that came true. So this is how I manage the interval of time. So the desire is me wanting to take my business, my coaching business, to Ibiza. And I started talking about this with a running friend at the end of last year. So through just before the Christmas UK COVID lockdown, and we were running, and I would talk, actually, I think even during that, we were running and I'd be talking to him about how, you know, I had a dream, and my dream was to be able to take my coaching business to Ibiza, you know, for 4 weeks. And yeah, that was it. So I started to talk about it, and I had no idea. I mean, I didn't have any clients then. I had no idea how it was going to happen. But I was just, and obviously we don't need to know that, but I just had a dream of, wouldn't it be amazing? Wouldn't it be amazing if I could take my business for a month abroad and work abroad in the sun? Wouldn't that just be incredible? So I had that thought throughout, obviously, the beginning of the year up until July. Really, travel was restricted, but it never stopped me from believing that I couldn't go to Ibiza. Even when we were being restricted on travel, my dream was, I'm going to be in Ibiza for 4 weeks in August. I'm going to be in Ibiza for 4 weeks in August. And again, so we're now up to kind of April, but I'm still, when I'm thinking about it, I'm still believing that it's possible. I'm still thinking, this is, you know, I would love to do this. I would love to do this. This is the dream. I would love to be able to pick up my business, get on a plane and go and sit in the sun for 4 weeks and work with my clients. So I wrote myself a letter as well, I've got lots of different things on that letter, and one of them is Ibiza. I wrote that letter back in April, thanking somebody for their kind, loving support and mentorship. And I will share that when everything on that letter has come to fruition. So I started even writing it, saying, you know, it's just amazing. My business, I was saying, my business is growing rapidly. I've constantly got a diary full of coaching clients, and, you know, money's flowing really easily. I'm so lucky I've been able to take my business to Ibiza this summer. It's amazing. You know, those things all have come true, which is incredible, you know, but this just goes to show the power of believing and telling yourself that story. So then it got to July, and I would still tell my story. I would still do the affirmations of being in Ibiza. You know, I'm so happy and grateful that I've been able to take my business to Ibiza, and I'm so happy and grateful that it's blue sky every day. And I'm so grateful for the fact that, you know, I'm waking up to these amazing views every day, and I'm spending the weekends on these luxurious beaches, and I'm being invited out by people to lovely events and having so much fun, and, you know, all of this. I just continue to tell that story. Now, when it got to August, the weather in the UK was horrendous. It was just raining constantly, and it was so depressing. Now, I'd started to make some money by this point, and I'd cleared my debt, and I was just toying with the idea of, should I just book it now? Should I just book it now? And then one Sunday morning, it was the 6th of August, I woke up and I was just done. It was raining like you wouldn't believe it. I was done. I went to see my friend Barbara, and I was like, I'm booking Ibiza. I'm going to book it. I found somewhere. I'm going to book it. And I got home and I booked it. And the following day, my hotel didn't confirm. So I booked everything, and I didn't have any accommodation, and I booked to go a week after. Now, this is August, so it was really, really busy. Did I allow that obstacle to stop me and from believing that I could have what it was that I wanted? No. I got straight back onto Airbnb and I had a look. Boom. Apartment came up. Exactly what I'd been looking for. Close to some of the beaches that I wanted to go to, with amazing, stunning views of sunsets, better than the place that fell through. I booked it. That was it. Then, when I was only booked for 3 weeks, then when I was out in Ibiza and I got busier and busier with my clients, I was like, you know what? The weather's really bad at home. Why would I want to go home to that? So I spoke to the landlady and I just said to her, you know, is it possible to book an extra week? And she said, well, funny enough, the people that were going to be staying that extra week that I was inquiring about had literally just pulled out about an hour before. So she's like, yeah, of course. And I paid her in cash. And it was a lot cheaper actually than going through Airbnb. So it was a win-win. So it was great. So I got my 4 weeks, not all in one go, but eventually I got the 4 weeks. So I booked for 3, but extended it to 4 weeks, you know. So sometimes things don't kind of show up exactly as we want it right there and then. Sometimes it develops over time. You know, I didn't hire a car to start with because they've hiked the prices up in Ibiza like you wouldn't believe. But I did decide to hire a car for a weekend, a long weekend. Now, I had been manifesting having a 4x4. I booked to have like a VW Polo. When I went to pick up the car, they gave me a 4x4. I mean, hello, seriously. So I went to all the luxurious beaches. I went to different new luxurious beaches that I haven't been to before, and I got treated like a goddess. And I was affirming I was going to be treated like a goddess out in Ibiza, that I was going to be spoiled rotten. I was going to meet the most amazing, incredible people. And I did everything that I wanted to do. It was incredible. And I took the inspired action as well. I'm a real believer in inspired action, actually. Even if it doesn't work out how you want it to, I always think I just use it as feedback. Just use it as feedback. You know, I took inspired action with my ex. Told me he didn't want anything to do with me. I did not hear that. I heard that you can't stop thinking about me. Actually, you know, I changed the story. I still focus. I just took it as feedback. What am I going to hear today? So there you go. This might be a bit of a long video, but I wanted to share the Ibiza story as well. That's it from me. Any questions about this, please feel free to comment below, like, share, and subscribe if you are new to this channel. And I will be back soon. Take care.